Good afternoon, everyone. This is Brad Matheny. This is a quick little update. We just ended January 2025, moving into February 2025. If you have not been following my research, it'll get you up to speed fairly quickly and will hopefully get you to pay attention to what I'm doing and to try to consider joining my services, my expert growth services here. Expert growth is a wonderful solution, very reasonable for traders and investors all over the world. Really, I can tell you from example, that it takes a bit of effort. The one thing about my services is I have algos that deliver trading signals for you. I do not deliver trading signals to you. You log in, you follow my algo trading signals intraday, daily, weekly, and you get some very good results from those. Some people who are more skilled can do quite well. For example, I've got some members that are able to do over 80 to 100% a week, in some cases even a day, trading options in futures, trading futures on their own, and or stock options, primarily the S&P and the spider sectors. But for the average trader, the new guy that's trying to figure out how to trade, which is what I'm really catering to, is helping anybody who's, at any level of trading. I want you to realize that you come in, you join Expert Growth. When you do, hopefully you're going to pick either the 60-day or the 6-month trial. The whole idea, you have to learn. You can't gain the experience to become a skilled trader if you've only been trading for 5, 6, 7 months, or maybe 1, 2 years, and you're still struggling. There's no way that I'm going to be able to write a book or a pamphlet or do a 1-hour video that's going to be able to teach you what you need to know in order to trade, become more skilled to be able to trade efficiently over the rest of your life. It is a process. It is a learning process, and I'm here to try to help you do that. I'm not here to hand you trades. Like I said, I'm here to teach you how to trade and teach you how to use my resources as effectively as possible. So, again, let's take a look at my 60 or my 1K challenge. And this is an example. Basically, I got to the point where I needed to show people how to do it. They follow my trades. I post all my trades up on my Discord channel. You can follow along. Other subscribers are doing the same things. You can follow what they're doing as well. And, the whole example here with the 1K challenge was to create a $1,000 account and try to get this 40% return on investment every 20 days, which is 3 weeks, which would put me up into these numbers. Totaling the first 20 days, I wanted to be above 1,400 or close to it. The next 20 days, I wanted to be above 96 or 1960 or close to it. The next 60 or 20 days, I want to be above 2740. And the next 20 days, I want to be above 3840, roughly. Currently, we've only been at it for basically 40 days. I went from the first day, I went from 1,000 to 1,580. And I'm only trading basically $300 maximum trading for that first 20 days. So in reality, I made $585 roughly on a $300 trading account, about 165%, while barely risking any of my starting capital. Okay, now the second 20 days, I upped my trading just a little bit to about $450, and I went from 1585 to 3266. Now, granted, we had a lot of volatility. I caught some really good moves, and you can too, obviously. But again, I was only trading about $440, and if you take a look at these numbers, I went up by $1,700. Again, 440, 1,700, do the math. That's a 400% return on investment in 20 days. A little over 400%. Again, never touching my $1,000 capital. Now, had I traded more of this capital and broken my rule, if I had been trading $600, this would have been maybe $2,300, $2,200. If I had been trading $600 or $700 here, instead of only the $300 or $400, this might have been $4,400 in total. And now I've finally moved it up to where we are now at this 32,600 level as of last week, and I've moved my capital up to 950, still basically 33% of my total trading capital, and I'm looking to try to kick this up to somewhere around $5,000 by the end of this period, hopefully. So we'll see. Ending February 17th. Now, I need you to understand, I'm up in this 3266 level. I only have about, in order to get to this level, 3840, I only have about $500 left to go. And if I can get a $500 profit, I'm ahead of the game. I've basically gone from 1,000 to this 3841 within about 55 days. And that means that I'm essentially, a month or two ahead, or 2 periods ahead right now. At the end of the 40th day, the second period, I should have been at 1960. I'm at 3266. Okay, now that means I'm already beyond this period here, and I'm moving up to this period here. If I can get to 5,000, then by the time I get to this period where I should have been at 2744, I'm going to be up here. That means that I'm going to be capable of proving to myself that I'm able to double or triple the account every, 35, 40 days. And if I'm consistent at this, I will grow this little $1,000 account into a $100,000 account somewhere down in this area, which is going to be about 6 or 7 months. And again, then it's going to be a matter of continuing it onward to see if I can grow the account even further. Now, I'm trying to be very conservative here, guys. Remember, I'm only trading 1/3 of the total account. So even right now, my open positions are only about $750, $800 in this account. And I'm roughly at this same level right now. Had a couple of winners, couple of losers, over the last week. Made some money. Everything was good. Remember, everything ended the week of January 27th, which was just, I'm going to take a look here, make sure January 27th was the Monday. So we've had basically 1 week going. We're going into the second week right now. And I want you to learn that if you are a trader, if you're struggling, if you're trying to figure it out, if you're still having trouble getting and finding some success, I want you to know that if you come over here to MENT.com and give it a try, it's all about me helping you, okay? And it really comes down to, giving it a try. I can't tell you how much people love what I'm doing right now. Literally, they love it. So see, here's the 60-day trial and the 6-month trial. Very inexpensive to get started. 6-month trial here at $169. Do the math. That's $75, little over $80. Let's call it. Divide by 3. So you're basically talking, $37 a month to be able to learn how to trade for 6 months, to be able to practice and apply the knowledge and gain the experience from myself and from other skilled traders to see how they're trading, see what they're doing, learn from our open videos, our open chat sessions and training sessions. It's a heck of a deal. And like I said, I can't believe more people don't jump in here and try to take advantage of it because, I can tell you that, people are finding immediate success with my TT scanner algos. The intraday algos are just knocking it out of the ballpark. One of my subscribers last week wrote me privately and told me that he had made over $65,000 day trading the SPY in 1 day, in 15 minutes. Now, granted, he's playing with a lot of money, So that's why he was able to get that kind of return. But another guy I talked to just the other day, I'm not going to use his name, but he's close to me. He's in the automotive business, brand new subscriber, couldn't figure things out. He asked for me to get on the phone with him, which I will do for you as well. I will get on the phone for 30, 40, 50 minutes and talk to you if you want, help you out. But the idea is I helped him out, answered some questions, showed him what to do on the website, which I'll show you right over here. I basically just pointed out to come over here to the Expert Growth homepage, come down to the TT Scanner algos, and pay attention to these algos as they trigger. This is the 2-minute TT Scanner. We'll go to the 5-minute, and we'll take a look. We have one short trade from last Friday. I'll go over this in a minute. But it was literally 1 week later, he wrote me, well, actually, it was the end of the day that I talked to him. He said he couldn't believe it. He had turned his entire trading around and made back most of the losses he'd had from his own trading, and then wrote me 4 days later saying that he's basically doing very well, still a couple of hits and misses, but he loves this and he wants to know if he can get on the phone with me again. Of course I'm going to help him out. That's what this is all about. My goal is to help as many traders as I can, but this is very simple. This is the intraday algo. So XLK, which is the technology sector, is in a short trade. Been in a short trade for 10 bars, meaning that we had this really setting up for quite a while, has not hit any of our targets yet. Otherwise, these would be pink, the target 1 and target 2 levels. We are in a positive thrusting pattern. That's a positive number compared to a negative number. So we're in a bit of an upside pullback mode. We are currently in a ranking of 0, meaning that we do not have any real trend at the moment. -4 is about halfway down into negative trending. +4, which we don't have any here, would be about halfway up the positive trending. The ranking number typically goes from +8 to -8. So when we're in a downtrend, we're looking for a fairly strong negative number here, like this, -4, -5, -6, something like that. And we're looking for the bull-bear shift to continue to push downward. We're also watching for the thrust pattern to move down into negative territory. So right now, what you're looking at with this trigger, this particular XLK trigger, is as of Friday at the close, we have a short trigger that's been in a trade, has not hit any targets. It's off by just a little bit, 0.04% as of right now, meaning very close to our entry price, really hasn't gone anywhere. It's in a neutral trend. It's shifting downward slightly. This is basically what happened last to move from where it was to this 0. So it was at a 1. It went down 1. It ended up at 0. That's what these numbers are. This is a -4. It had moved down 4. So in order to get to -4, we had to be at 0 before that. This is a -4. It had gone up by 1. So that means this had to be a -5, meaning it's going up slightly. That's what this shift column is. So we want to see it move downward, and we want to see this stay red, but we want to see this move downward and into negative trending territory, like this, -12.57. So now let's come over and take a look at 30 or 60 minute, and we would be looking for confirmation. So we would look for confirmation across the XLF to see if we have any XLF selling. We do not on 5 minute. We have it here on 5 minute, and we do not have confirmation over here on 2 minute. And we do have, was it XLF or XLK? XLK, okay, wrong one. XLE. We do have confirmation over here on the 2 minute. So there's our 2 minute XLK trigger. It's already hit the downward targets. It's up 1.35%, which is a pretty good little move. Okay, that's not bad. We're in positive trending. You see here, +4 and +1. That means we're in kind of a pullback mode in XLK, and we're in green trending here. So in other words, this right now is not doing what we want, but it was the end of the day on Friday on a 2-minute basis, and we've already hit the targets. Now, as soon as we hit the targets here, the risk has been removed out of the trade. If you follow this algo, the risk is now removed from the trade. Our stop price is below our entry price, meaning that we now have a guaranteed winner on this, no matter what. If you follow this, unless it gaps, if you follow this. So these triggers are being generated every 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and 60 minutes. This page updates every 60 seconds. You also have the ETF triggers over here. Tons of triggers for you to look at. This is the 5-minute. Here's the 15-minute. You can see we've got lots of short triggers. Every single one of these is a trade trigger that you can potentially take. It's up to you to decide what you want to take. Like, for example, ITA. Okay, let's look at this. -2, 2, so it's moving up a little bit. That's what this number 2 tells us. It's moving up a little bit. It's green at -30 on thrust. It's a brand new trigger. It's only got 2 bars in it since the last trigger. Hasn't hit any targets. Off a little bit. It's a short trigger, so we're off a little bit. We're not in the plus side. This is a fairly decent trigger for you to be able to take. You're looking to buy a put option. Probably somewhere around entry price is 156.45, so we're up a little bit. You could probably find an option at 156.50, maybe 156 even as a strike price. This is on a 15-minute basis. As of Friday, you would have had to, here's our trigger again, you would have had to probably carry this out in the next week. But the idea here is these triggers qualify. Now, how do you handle profit taking? Anytime you get more than 20 to 30% in your options trade, I want you to immediately consider taking some profits out. Normally, I start off with 2, maybe 3 options, either call options or put options. And now anytime I get more than 20 or 30% potential losses on the trade, I want out as well. The longer I stay in the trade and it doesn't really do anything, then normally I want to get out because I'll just save the capital, look for something else. Sometimes I set up for position trades. So if you follow my research, you know that I'm expecting the markets to roll downward. So, you know, if I get a bunch of short triggers over here, XLK, 60 minutes short, XLE short, IGF short, XOP short. If I'm starting to see the markets move, XLB short, basic materials, in a fairly consolidated downward trend on the longer term 60 minutes, I may go out and grab something that's, you know, 14, 20 days out and try to catch a pretty big move, especially if we get an upward move in the market. So if these triggers show up and the markets gyrate or fluctuate a little bit, giving me a really good entry for maybe a 10, 15, 20-day option out, you know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I may load up on some and just try to wait out the breakdown or the breakaway upside move for some big profits. And that's actually what happened on Monday. If you follow me on Monday, we had a great big move to, in fact, let me come over here and trading view. And we'll just come in here. We had a great big move. Let me see what I'm looking at. Okay, my energy setup. We had a great big move on, this is 10-minute on Monday, right here, this big breakdown. Let me turn this off. And I had been warning everyone, if you hadn't followed my research, of a big market correction that was going to set up around the 21st through 23rd. I gave everybody a big warning that a top breakdown was going to happen. and that we were going to be rolling into a very solid breakdown mode, likely, and that's still my research telling you right now, that we are going to be moving into a breakdown into February 9th and 10th, which is in this area. I got to mark it on here, and again on the 21st, which is this area, and then again out here on March 21st, this area. Now, I believe we're looking at a breakdown moving down into this area from where we're at now. I think we're going to come down into this area, stall, and break down, reaching a deep V low, consolidate, break down into a secondary low, consolidate, and then break down into an ultimate low, and then consolidate into a bigger pattern. So again, this gives me a huge opportunity, because throughout all of last week, I was able to position some of my capital. I pulled profits on this move here, just decided I'm done, I'll take it. It opened much lower. In fact, I made 200 to 300% on some options just on that move, because I was able to buy put options over here and over here and over here, knowing that I was expecting a breakdown move. So I ended up buying some more puts over here and buying some more puts over here, and now I'm waiting for that next big breakdown move, which is going to happen here literally by Thursday, Friday. By the time we get into the 7th here, we should be looking at that deep V pattern, and I'm going to be booking profits all this week, as long as the markets continue downward the way I expect, and then potentially setting up on any type of a pullback. Assuming we get a little pullback here, I'm going to be looking to set up for this move into the deep V pattern around the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. And then we will be looking for a secondary bottom over here around the 21st of February. So what we're going to be doing here is taking advantage of cheap price options. In other words, you can go out and you can buy yourself a 7 or a 10-day option. You just got to time the price right. So we're looking at the SPX right now. A lot of what I was trading was the XLK, which I was showing you earlier. Yeah, and I can show you right here. XLK, nice and volatile, right? Big gaps, right? So here we have this rotation. We've rolled out of this channel. You can see we're moving into a fairly solid downward trend here. Very clean downward breakdown right here. Breaking out of that channel. It's pretty much right across here. Rolling into the downside, and look over here. If you come back over here, this is hourly. So you can see that we've got a lot of consolidation here. Okay, and if you want to really take a look at, scaling, you have to kind of pay attention to this level here from a scaling aspect, and understand that we have this upper channel kind of running right across here. Then we have this flagging downward sideways move here. And if we do break down on technology, we could move very easily into this lower support channel, and or I'm going to tell you right now, a 382 range of this area, which would put us right over into this area for some support. And so now, there we go, guys. We're looking at XLK potentially breaking down 7.8%. Possibly. So understand that this would be a good solid breakdown, and my options, if this takes place, would go up by 7, 8, 900% or more. Day trading these, you can day trade them, you can swing trade them. It's just a matter of learning how to do it without blowing up your account. And again, like I'm trying to teach you, I'm doing this by not blowing up my account, simply by putting only 1/3 of my capital to use at any given time. And if I'm wrong, okay, maybe I lose $300, maybe I lose $200, but that gives me a whole bunch of capital to keep going and riding the market so I can try to find some new opportunities. So do yourself a favor. Come over here. It's the beginning of 2025. Visit ment.com. Check out what I do. Follow along for 6 to 12 months. And let's see if I can help you make some money this year. Okay, guys. Talk to you later.